Disney World is known for constant change, but scattered across the property are places that time has left behind, silent, abandoned, and fading into memory. Today, we're counting down 10 of Disney's forgotten spaces, relics of the past hiding in plain sight. Number 10. Stitch's Great Escape, the attraction that replaced the notoriously terrifying alien encounter, closed on January 6, 2018, though Disney didn't officially confirm its permanent closure until July 2020. Originally meant to be a more family-friendly replacement, Stitch's version still found ways to unsettle guests in its own peculiar way. Its signature moment? Stitch burping a chili dog right in your face, smelling exactly like, well, a burped up chili dog. Even with Journey into Imagination, who really wants to be blasted with unpleasant odors? Eventually, the attraction went seasonal, Disney's polite way of admitting, we're not sure what to do with this. Later, it was quietly replaced with a Stitch meet and greet, but even that didn't last. Now, the building just sits there. Signage removed, doors shuttered, occasionally dusted off for special events or a rare character appearance, but mostly left as a silent, circular monument to questionable Imagineering choices. It's a rare sight at Magic Kingdom, a building abandoned, visible to everyone, yet somehow still holding its secrets. I'll return to Magic Kingdom in a moment, but for now, we head to my favorite park, Epcot, for the next story. Number 9. If you ever noticed children clutching old flip phones while their parents trailed behind through World Showcase, you were watching Agent P's adventure unfold. From kiosks in Norway, Italy, and here at its main headquarters, guests once joined Perry the Platypus to foil the clumsy schemes of Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Armed with a modified flip phone, already dated when the game launched in 2012, players could trigger hidden effects and animatronics across pavilions like Mexico, France, and the UK. It was quirky, it was clever, and when the technology held together, it was fun. Agent P replaced the short-lived Kim Possible adventure and managed to endure until February 2020, just before the parks went dark. Disney promised a DuckTales version would follow, and while that happened, it was operated through the Disney Play mobile app, eliminating the need for a physical kiosk location in the park.
Excellent work, Adventure! You foiled the handoff!
You totally blew him away! Oh wait, I should have said...
So we moved into a new era of technology, but the memory of Agent P lingers here at Epcot. For some, it remains a fond relic. For others, it's simply gone. Another piece of Epcot, quietly left behind. Number 8. For nearly 3 decades, Jelly Rolls on the Disney Boardwalk was more than just a dueling piano bar. It was a gathering place where Epcot regulars lingered after the park closed and conventioners from the Swan and Dolphin kept the night alive. But on April 19, 2025, the music stopped. Disney closed Jelly Rolls as part of a broader reimagining of the boardwalk. Yet no plans have been revealed. One by one, third-party tenants have cycled through. The Cake Bake Shop brought new life to one end, but Jelly Roll's corner sits quiet, its doors locked, and its future unclear. Some believe it may return elsewhere someday. Rumors swirl, but nothing concrete has been announced. And so the pianos remain silent, the stage gathering dust, the bar stools left empty. For longtime fans, Jelly Rolls isn't just a shuttered venue. It marks the end of an era when Disney Nightlife carried a spark that seems to have flickered out. Number 7. For more than a decade, kids at Hollywood Studios could step on stage, robe up, and face off against Darth Vader and Kylo Ren. But when the park shut down in March of 2020, the force went dark. Most attractions eventually returned. Jedi training didn't. By 2022, the stage signage was gone. Disney gave no explanation. Today, that space sits mostly empty, sometimes stroller parking, sometimes nothing at all. For young fans, it's a loss. Sure, Galaxy's Edge offers lightsabers and droids, but nothing compares to a child battling the dark side in front of a cheering crowd. That chapter is closed, and Disney hasn't said if it will ever reopen. Number 6. The Tomorrowland Terrace, sometimes a restaurant, sometimes a shortcut, sometimes dessert party. Once upon a time, this spot tried to reinvent itself as the Tomorrowland Terrace Noodle Station, dishing out Asian-inspired dishes to hungry Magic Kingdom guests, starting in 2004. The problem? Nobody really showed up for the noodles. I would have, I love Asian noodles. Despite being located in prime real estate between Main Street and Tomorrowland, the restaurant spent most of its life in seasonal limbo. You'd walk by and wonder, is this place open? The answer was almost always no, unless it was a peak holiday. See, this restaurant was always supposed to be a backup restaurant, so if you're trying to picture it in its heyday back in the 1970s packed with people, well, I don't think that was ever the case. For the past several years, it's operated almost exclusively as the host venue for the Magic Kingdom fireworks dessert parties. These days, I'm told by cast members that the kitchen is used as the main industrial bakery for the Walt Disney World Resort, along with Amaret's Patisserie at Disney Springs, which handles the more finer pastries. For now, Tomorrowland Terrace remains one of the most abandoned eateries in the most crowded theme parks on Earth. Number 5. Once upon a time, guests at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort could wander down to the marina and step into a tropical dream, no park ticket required. Sailboats, pontoon boats, even those charming two-person mini speedboats skimmed across the waters of the Seven Seas Lagoon. But those days have long dissolved into silence. One by one, the boats vanished, leaving the Polynesian's marina as empty space. Today, it's little more than a dock for service vessels, the occasional fireworks cruise, or a fishing charter. Disney never made an announcement, they simply stopped offering watercraft rentals. And there are darker echoes here. Years ago, an alligator stalked these waters, a silent predator living just beneath the surface. I think that had a lot to do with why Disney watercraft rentals were canceled. But now the marina sits still, its docks empty, its waters stagnant, the sailboats and speedboats long gone. Number 4. This building may look like a simple bathroom at Magic Kingdom, but it was much more than that from opening day in 1971 until 1999. It was the Tomorrowland Skyway station. See, long before the Disney Skyliner soared between resorts, there was the Skyliner to Fantasyland, a charming gondola ride that gave guests a breezy bird's-eye view of the Magic Kingdom. It connected Tomorrowland and Fantasyland in one of the most scenic, slow-moving journeys you could take above a theme park. Parts of the Tomorrowland station are still here today. These bathrooms once had a second floor. Skyway gondolas would take off and land here. For many years, the station remained abandoned, and then little by little, Disney began removing parts and pieces, giving little hope the Skyway station would return. The Tomorrowland station hung around awkwardly until 2009, when the last part of the ride was demolished, leaving behind only the bathroom. The Fantasy Station held out until 2011 before it was bulldozed to make room for the Tangled restrooms. I would love to see this ride return. Being up in the air over Magic Kingdom, that was pretty cool. But it was a slow loader. Lines would get incredibly long for it. And then there were issues with impending thunderstorms, a few accidents, and the constant worry that guests would try to drop things on other guests' heads down below. Now, all that remains are the Tomorrowland restrooms, a quiet reminder of a ride that once floated above the park and a dream that will never return. Number 3. Believe it or not, Disney World once had its own airport right on property with a host airline. The Stallport, short for takeoff and landing, was built just off World Drive near the entrance to Magic Kingdom and actually operated briefly in the 1970s. Small commuter planes would fly guests in from regional airports, land right on property, and shuttle them off to the Magic without the hassle of Orlando International. basically Uber Black but with wings. This service was limited, only ran for a short time, and was quietly phased out as Disney realized two things. One, not many guests wanted to fly on tiny aircraft, which were operated by the Shawnee Airlines, bankrupt in 1972. And two, Disney was focused on building Epcot, which would be a theme park, not the city of tomorrow as Walt had originally planned. The Stallport was officially abandoned decades ago, but the runway and airport terminal still exists today. You can see parts of it from the Epcot monorail line and on Vista Boulevard, the road that leads to Fort Wilderness Resort. Only authorized vehicles are allowed down there now. I used footage I found on YouTube from years ago. The airport is surrounded by trees, fenced off, and mainly used for storing construction equipment. Once a gateway to the magic, it now lies silent and forgotten, an abandoned airport runway that will never see flight again. Number 2. Before Star Wars and Pixar took over, Disney's Hollywood Studios, then MGM Studios, was all about movie magic, and nothing screamed behind the scenes louder than the Backlot Tour, a sprawling multi-part tram and walking experience that showed off sound stages, wardrobe departments, and the infamous Catastrophe Canyon, where everything exploded on cue 3 times an hour. But after years of Disney trying to reinvent this park, the once iconic tour finally shut down in 2014 to make way for Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge. And while the trams are long gone, if you know where to look, the ghost of the Backlot Tour still lingers. As you exit the Walt Disney Presents Theater, you'll discover some bathrooms and a sidewalk on your left. Take the path down a little ways, carefully observing the cast member only sign, and you'll see the former load area for the Backlot trams. Let's take a look from another angle, this one behind the Star Wars launch bay. This was the original entrance for the Backlot Tour. The quiet sidewalks back here used to be part of the tour path. These days, most guests walk right past these remnants without a clue. But for Disney history nerds, this corner of the park is one big backstage Easter egg. Number 1. It was bold, it was immersive, it was shockingly expensive. Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser opened in March 2022 as one of Disney's most ambitious projects ever. A 2-night, fully themed Star Wars voyage where guests lived aboard the Halcyon Star Cruiser, interacted with crew members, chose rides for the Resistance or the First Order, and even took secret missions in Galaxy's Edge. The concept was genuinely innovative, and Disney deserves credit for attempting something so daring. But the price tag? A family could expect to spend upwards of $2,500 per person for a 2-night stay, which included food, activities, and the illusion of space travel. Yet guests were expected to remain on at all times, cosplaying, role-playing, lightsaber training, decoding transmissions. It was more like space camp than vacation. Despite rave reviews from die-hard fans, bookings dropped sharply after the initial buzz had faded. Disney scaled back voyages, offered discounts, and then made the shocking announcement that the Halcyon would make its final voyage in September 2023, just 18 months after opening. Today, the estimated $350 million building stands still, completely unused, with no guests, no bookings, and no clear future. Rumors swirl endlessly about what might take its place, but nothing has been confirmed. The Halcyon looms silently, a high-tech relic of ambition, now surrendered to stillness. And so the most advanced hotel Disney ever built now sits abandoned. The only hint that it exists is a road sign, quietly standing as a marker of dreams that never quite reached the stars. If you're fascinated by Disney World's hidden and forgotten corners, check out my playlist coming up next. You'll find more abandoned Disney attractions, along with videos on topics like how guests can get banned from the parks, and the surprising truth about who really owns World Showcase at Epcot. I'll see you over there.